back when.
Rudolph Taylor once believed his life would end in an abandoned shack in North Houston. No family, no close friends. That was how Rudolph lived for more than 30 years as a homeless man. He never dared to imagine that one day, someone might still be waiting for him to come home. The only thing that stayed by his side was his colorful paintings. But what Rudolph didn't know was that, in another state across America, there was someone who had spent nearly 30 years searching for him without ever giving up. That person was the son he had not seen even once in more than 3 decades. After 30 years apart, a homeless painter reunited with his son through a TV news story. In 2015, KHOU 11 News aired a short feature about Rudolph Taylor, a homeless man living in a small makeshift shack in the Acres Home neighborhood of North Houston. At the time, Rudolph was 60 years old, but he was unlike most older men. He had no family by his side, no home, and no steady job. Yet every single day, he would spend hours sitting in front of old canvases, painting. What made Rudolph even more remarkable was that he had never received any formal art training. He taught himself everything, which is why people in the neighborhood called him the painter. He sold his paintings for a little money, enough to buy food, coffee, and sometimes a cigar. Rudolph also had a close relationship with Houston police officers, though they met in a rather unexpected way. While chasing a suspect hiding near the area where Rudolph lived, officers came across a strange art studio inside an abandoned welding shop. That was where Rudolph lived and painted every day.
It's somewhat rare that anyone have this type of ability, but to do it in the setting that he does, and the manner in which he does, I think is truly fascinating.
You're outside of that line right there.
What started as casual conversations slowly turned into friendship. The officers became close to Rudolph, and some even became regular customers who commissioned paintings from him. Captain Larry Byambridge once said he was drawn to Rudolph from the very first meeting, because behind his worn appearance was a man with a very different kind of soul. But Rudolph's life had never been easy. He was a military veteran, and years earlier, he had served prison time for voluntary manslaughter connected to the death of his brother. After serving 5 years in prison, Rudolph lost nearly everything. He spent more than 30 years homeless, and the only thing that truly stayed with him was art. When asked why he kept painting, Rudolph said art helped him escape the past and kept him from drowning in painful memories. He had spent nearly half his life homeless, and painting became a quiet refuge from the world around him.
God gave me vivid imagination.
One of those fantastically creative ones that still could never conjure up what was about to happen.
You always want something, you lose.
Maybe it was painting that slowly helped Rudolph accept the life he was living. He once admitted,
Have to deal with the bitterness of the loss and the anguish.
that pain stayed with him for decades after being separated from his family. The separation happened more than 37 years earlier, before his second son was even born. During an interview with KHOU 11 News reporter Melissa Correa, Rudolph appeared inside his worn-down art studio. He said he sometimes listened to music or the news, but art was the only thing that truly kept him going. For Rudolph, painting was the only thing that had never abandoned him, and he would not trade it for anything.
Well, hello, Dolly. Well, hello.
In every sense
Dolly.
of the word.
It's so nice to see you back where you belong. I'm having to distract myself from going down corridors of my memory that I oppose.
What Rudolph never expected was that his appearance on television would touch so many people. His story, along with social media posts about him, was shared thousands of times online. And that attention would soon bring Rudolph something he never dared to imagine. Among the people who watched that video there was one person who recognized him immediately. After 30 years apart, a son finally finds his father. In Boulder, Colorado, a man named Kevin Taylor sat frozen in front of his screen. Kevin said, "And I was pretty certain it was him. It was just always something in me to want to know who my father is." He believed he was Rudolph's second son. Growing up, Kevin knew almost nothing about his biological father. The two had only met briefly when Kevin was 3 years old. Soon after that, his family moved to Colorado, and Rudolph disappeared from his life completely. When Kevin turned 8, he learned that his father might be living in Houston. That was when the search for his dad quietly began. For years, Kevin flipped through phone books and wrote letters to every Taylor he could find. But most of those letters were either returned or never answered. He recalled,
Got a few return letters over the years, and mostly no response from anybody.
Then a few years later, Kevin found the only photo he had ever seen of his father. He immediately wrote Rudolph another letter, inviting him to attend his U.S. Marine Corps graduation. But that letter was returned too. Even so, Kevin never gave up. He turned to the internet and continued searching for his father online. Then one day, he came across a Facebook video about the painter. Kevin froze as he stared at the familiar face of the man in the story. Deep down, he knew that had to be his father. In late July 2017, Kevin nervously called the Houston Police Department. The moment someone answered, he said, I saw a story, and it had Captain Byambridge in it, and I believe the man that's in the video is my father. And somebody get back to me." The person who took that call was Captain Larry Byambridge. After verifying the information, a few weeks later, Larry drove Kevin in an unmarked patrol car to the small shack in Acres' home, where Rudolph was living.
Well, here we are.
Okay.
Be all right.
Okay.
Very important. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. Let's go meet your dad.
When the car stopped, Kevin slowly stepped out. Standing in front of his shack, Rudolph rose in shock.
That's Rudolph Taylor. That's Rudolph Taylor. I'm not Rudolph, that's Rudolph Taylor. I'm listening to the radio. We can take our time from here on out, God willing, for the rest of our life. We can take our time. There's no problem.
Hi. I'm Kevin.
I already know, boy.
I know, I just want to say it.
You just want to say it, whatever you want to say, whatever you want to do. I don't care, boy. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. I'm stinky old man. Bad breath and everything, but boy, I'm telling you, I ain't never had this opportunity. I ain't never had this opportunity. Okay, straighten up. Straighten up there, soldier. Come on, sit down or something. You gotta build a normality real quick. I'm having coffee and I usually don't stand around with tears in my eyes.
Yeah, it doesn't bother me.
Okay. I can see your grandpa in you too.
Yeah.
Kevin tearfully told his father that he had never hated him.
I ain't never had anything against you. Not my whole life.
Tell me who you are. You know, I ain't heard in a long time. I might need to hear it again. I'm 60 years old.
I'm Kevin, your son.
Thank you very much.
After the reunion, Kevin returned to Colorado to continue college. but he said he would do everything he could to help his father have a better life. Rudolph, meanwhile, continued painting in North Houston. Their reunion touched people across America. Rudolph had spent most of his life carrying regret, never imagining that somewhere out there, someone had been waiting and searching for him all those years. For Rudolph, this reunion may have been the happiest, luckiest, and most miraculous moment of his life.